Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Comedian Christian Finnegan is here with us, regular on the show. He's going to be at Gotham Comedy Club right here at West 23rd Street. Great club in Manhattan this weekend. His special is going to be on April 15th on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And check that out. We were just talking about nightmarish college gigs that we've done over the years. And it is true, you reminded me of how, like, a lot of times a student puts it on and they have no idea. And you have a great idea. You and your buddy want to write a pamphlet and send it out.
Sure, yeah.
How to put on a college show.
Simple things like say the comedian's name last instead of the beginning of the intro. You know, they'll be like, so Artie Lange's going to come on stage, and he's been on Mad TV and Howard Stern, and here he is.
Yeah.
And then it's just going, okay. You know?
Yeah, they do that all the time.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And you said they had round tables at one, and they were handing out construction paper. Because
what's bad about round tables?
Because then they're facing each other. They're not facing
you're not.
you.
If you got to look like this to look at the stage, you don't want to laugh.
That's
you know.
bad.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
it's
uncomfortable. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine if there's, I guess, dinner being served. If it's like a banquet, you kind of expect that. I mean, it's not fine, but you expect it.
I mean, comedy audiences are like, they're already cynical. Like, come on, you're overcharging me for everything. Make me laugh. You want to make them as comfortable as possible with no distractions.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's the thing. Yeah, they'll have the entire room in like bathed in neon light. You know, I did a show once. It was like next to a bagel machine. Right. You know, there's people going up and slicing their bagels during the show. You know.
Oh, how about some of the clubs they've opened? There was a club in New Rochelle called New Rock City in the middle of a mall, and during your set, you could hear kids playing Donkey Kong. And arguing over the outcome. You know,
Oh yeah, I've done that college with their ping pong table in the back of the room.
Yeah, that's perfect. You know, the St. Louis Funny Bone has that paper thin wall behind the stage, and there's a jazz band a foot from you.
Yeah.
And a wall is separating you that you can hear the jazz.
They're playing like Brick House next to you in the room next door.
It's like you're the drummer in the band.
Yeah.
She's a brick. That's perfect.
And then also I mean, I actually play that club a lot. And
I've done it a lot.
I love the guys. I love
them.
Matt, the manager, and all that. But there's no green room either. So it's
you
like
sit in the kitchen.
Yeah, you're either sitting in the kitchen or you're sitting there at the bar.
The bar next door, the Jazz or Blues Club.
Where all the people that are coming to see the show, it's like, oh, there's the comedian. And,
and they're making small talk. And make me laugh now. All right, shut up. Well, also a thing because it's so politically correct. This happened to me a few times where they have a deaf interpreter on stage, and like
oh, at a college,
like no one's like who's not going to be looking at the deaf interpreter?
Right.
That's way more interesting than anything I'm doing.
Yeah,
it's a guy who really knows how to do that.
And then it's kind of a cliche thing, but you start doing a bit where you try to make the interpreter say some dirty things or whatever.
That's all I do.
But it's fun. It's fun. I've done it. It's hilarious.
How do you not do it? I mean, and every comedian, look, at heart, we're mischievous. Every comic's gonna go there.
Yeah,
we're just not.
You want to pop the balloon?
We're not gonna spare them.
Yeah.
I've done this joke a million times. The other guys know, but I'll just say the funniest thing I ever saw was Colin Quinn was on stage. One of them, a joke he told bombed, and he walked up to the interpreter and hit her on the head and said, "Is this thing on?" That's the smartest I ever saw that.
My wife, as we speak, is performing sign language in front of people right now.
No, is that what she does?
Well,
I mean, listen, it's an impressive career.
My wife's parents are both deaf, and she wrote a book.
Wow.
And so sometimes she'll go
to
to schools.
She wrote a book?
Yeah, she wrote a memoir.
No kidding.
Also, her dad's in jail for attempted murder. Fun stuff. I think I might have mentioned this in the past.
That's an interesting woman.
Yeah.
Your wife's dad.
I'll give you the 10-second synopsis.
He's deaf and a murderer.
Yes. My wife grew up in the woods of Texas in a trailer that got repossessed, and her family had to move into
Sounds like a fascinating
horse
woman.
barn.
Yeah, a horse barn.
Like a tin shed.
In there,
they moved the horse out, I believe. And then
what's she bitching about?
Yeah, exactly. They put a roof on the woman's head, right? But yeah, her and her brother slept on chicken wire bunk beds.
Wow.
Like real,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so what happened with the dad?
Well, her dad tried to kill her mom, didn't go to jail for that.
How did he
try it?
Yes.
How did he try it?
Choked her, had her up against the wall, and my wife had to, call the police, and then he yanked the phone out. It was a long,
Wow.
But yeah, now he's in jail for the attempted murder of his third wife because he cut her throat and stabbed her 5 times.
That is unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
That is now does your wife talk to him?
Yeah, well, not talk.
Does she visit?
She signs.
Well,
I mean,
they write letters back and forth, and whenever we go to Houston, or because he's in Huntsville,
and you visit,
yeah, and they
and they do the thing with the sign.
They do the thing.
So, do you know sign language too?
I really should. I started to try to learn it, and then I just never really fully committed to it. It's like
so hard.
And her mom can hear a little bit. Like her mom can read lips and speak, but her dad is deaf mute. You know, as they say.
No kidding. I really have a lot of respect for people like that, like your wife. I mean,
but she's at a school right now in Rochester, like a school for the deaf, and she's like doing a speech
really.
there.
I mean, that's just an interesting, good person. You know.
Do you think that?
I don't like it.
No, you don't think so?
It makes me feel bad. She's too good of a person.
I know, right?
It's tough.
Yeah, it's like calm down.
It's like mentors a kid.
Me look bad.
It's like I get up on stage in front of strangers and talk about my junk. That's what I do with my life.
Yeah, I know. I've told girlfriends who try to do something good, like it's so easy to make me look terrible. Like you just have to not do heroin. And now you're going to try to. I mean,
The bar is rather
someone
low.
learns sign language. How dare you?
Yeah.
That's impressive. Well, that's an interesting thing. You ever talk about that on stage? Or
On my last CD, I have about a 10-minute chunk where I talk about going to meet him. And
a 10-minute chunk.
Yeah, big
How's
chunk.
that go?
Yeah, well, it's honestly
It gets laughs.
the best bit on that CD for
honest.
sure. It's the one that people talk about. Yeah.
How's your wife feel about it?
She loves it.
Yeah?
She loves it. I mean, my wife has actually been really good over the years. Her general feeling is if people laugh, then obviously they're relating to it on some level.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, listen. What an open-minded woman. You know, we all know dating women as comics, a lot of times they do not understand bits about them, especially.
Yeah.
You know?
But there have been times where I've done a bit and it hasn't gotten any laughs, and she's gotten pissed. She's
Oh, yeah?
Okay, you were just trying to get out some bile.
Yeah.
You didn't even try to craft a punchline for that.
You know what's horrible about that is a lot of times they're right.
Oh, yeah, sure. I say all the things on stage I cannot say to your face.
Yeah, so I was dating one. Let's call her Jane. That's interesting. So what do you got? Are you on tour now?
Yeah, I'm not on tour theoretically. I mean, you know how it is. Like, I don't do like theaters.
You're
quite up to that level.
But you're currently performing.
Yeah. I go for a weekend and then I come home and go for another weekend, et cetera, and so forth. But yeah, right now I'm in the city for a good little stretch. 'Cause I have another show that I'm going to be working on after the Gotham thing, but I can't promote it contractually until Gotham's.
It's like a one-man show type.
Kinda, yeah, kind of one of them.
Well, it sounds like you come from an interesting situation.
You know.
What are you live in L.A.?
No, I live here.
Oh, you do?
I've
Okay.
always lived here. I've lived in New York.
Yeah,
It's actually about New York, actually. I've lived in New York since '91. Never left.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
You never had a stretch in L.A.?
Nope. I went to
so the
pilot season for a month once.
The TV show you did was based
Shot
here?
in Stamford, Connecticut.
Oh, no kidding. Okay. Well, that's cool.
Hollywood in the East.
What was your pilot season like?
It's awful.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're never good.
I don't, a lot of my friends who thought they were going to hate moving to California have blossomed and they've become better people. And I don't mind LA. I just don't like me in LA. Like it makes me.
That's an excellent way to put it.
Yeah.
I wish I thought of that years ago because that's a good way to put it. I'm not trying to bash LA. It's like me in LA doesn't work.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, that's a nice shirt. It doesn't fit me.
Yeah, like my mother would look through catalogs at male models and go, you look at that's a beautiful jacket. Yeah, on Marcus Schenkenberg.
You just pull up Marcus Schenkenberg.
What the hell? We got reference for reference.
Nice.
No,
I like
but
it.
yeah, I'm like on him it looks good. On me, it's going to look like a walrus. Put that jacket on.
Yeah.
But no, I lived in LA for 6 years. To tell you the truth, the first 2 years I was literally a suicidal drug addict. But I had a job where I was making money on a TV show. But then what I did was, and this is the key to LA, is I found a clique of people I loved hanging with. I was making good money and I doing a sitcom, and then I probably would have stayed there if the Stern Show didn't come up. I would have had to stay there, But I respect the fact that you stay here and you make a living. And
my career has shown it. No, there was definitely a time.
You're a really successful comedian.
No, you're right. No, I'm very. It was not something that I felt like I had an option to do. I mean, obviously I had the option, but I moved to New York to be in New York. I had no idea I wanted to do comedy. I specifically wanted to live in New York City. And so I just got kind of fortunate that this is something I could do in New York.
Right, and you're a Boston guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great comedy comes out of there.
Well,
but
that's why I wanted to move to New York, is because
Okay.
everybody in Boston hated New York, and I hated all of them.
No kidding.
And so I thought, well, then I must belong in New York.
I don't know if you did this on purpose, my God, you don't have an ounce of that accent.
No,
I mean,
my dad was like vigilant. My uncles do. My dad was so vigilant about it. I was maybe 18 years old when I had to prove to him that the word spatula was not pronounced spatchler, because he thought his entire life people had been saying it incorrectly, because because he was really determined to have us not have an
I have
accent.
people in my family with certain words like that too. But you know, Finnegan, did you have a classic Boston Irish experience growing up?
You know, I'm like probably one generation removed from that. Like my dad, you know, West Roxbury, you know, suburb of Boston, 7 kids, you know, all the touchstones of Irish Catholic families: mental retardation, the priesthood, homosexuality, alcoholism, all the greatest.
All the makings for a great wedding, a great wedding reception. And now, does anybody else in your family move down here? Did everybody ever?
No,
you're the only guy.
No, I'm the only one.
Yeah.
I'm the only one. You know,
how many kids in your family when you grew up?
Well, I was one of 3.
Oh, okay.
But now I'm one of 1. That's all fun.
No kidding.
Yeah.
2 siblings died.
Yeah. It's
Well,
fun
I can't
stuff.
put it this way. I can't wait to see the one-man show.
Well, I will say this. It is funny. They died on the tilt-a-whirl. No, they didn't. It was a hilarious
Only a comic
situation.
would say that.
No, but yeah, everybody else, like my older brother lived in Pennsylvania in the Poconos, and my younger brother, my mom lives in Georgia, and she went, but I was the only one who went to New York.
Did the siblings die tragically?
No, my younger brother had died. He had a heart transplant when he was a kid and had multiple operations and died when he was 19.
That's rough. Okay.
Yeah, and then my older brother just had a heart attack in 2008.
Yeah.
just
something you worry about, obviously? I mean, you get you checked up and everything?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I used to be a lot heavier.
Oh, yeah?
And luckily, I had already started to deal with that by that point. But but yeah, it's something I probably got to keep my eye on.
Take a look at. Listen.
Jeez.
Fun stuff, huh?
No, listen, you're better off than me in some ways because my father's family is a complete mystery, and I don't know a lot about the medical history there, so I wish I did.
Oh, yeah.
At least you could try to. Yeah, my father's father died when he was like 11, so I never knew him. He barely ever knew him. But his family is very. And then I got one of those tests done where you know your heritage, and out of nowhere, I was 25% Native American. 25%.
I can kind of see that a little bit. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. My mother is all Italian. She knows that. All Italian. My father, I mean, out of nowhere. So that means one of my father's parents was all Native American. I mean,
Yeah, that stands to reason.
I guess so. I had it done a few times. And yeah, 25%. I just want casino money. That's what I mean, just the money I lost.
What tribe can you
Well, that's the
barnacle yourself
problem.
onto?
You hit it on the head. You can't get any money unless you prove the tribe you're from.
Yeah.
Because believe me, I called lawyers. I called them. If you're 1/16th, you're in.
Yeah.
So I had 25% of my guys. I'm owed billions here.
I was listening to something on the radio, like one of those NPR type shows, or whatever, and apparently there's a kind of a scandal in the Native American community of these tribes kicking people out of the tribe because, you know, they basically split up the money like a pie.
Yeah.
And so the fewer people there are, the bigger the slices are.
That's true. Imagine. I mean, I couldn't imagine there not being scandals about that. I mean, you're
Yeah.
talking about free chunks of money. I mean, the money that comes from through a casino. Did you ever play casino doing stand? Indian casino doing stand up?
Well, I mean, you know, like Mohegan Sunset. Never one of the real, like, off the road. I think Pachanga in California, which is still kind of a bigger one.
I did, like I said, I mentioned, I did the one in Hammond, Indiana. I did one in Biloxi, Mississippi once, where you meet the tribe afterwards. And it's funny, sometimes the elder people, they still dress like something out of a movie.
Yeah.
And then the younger kids are trying to be hip. But you take a picture with them and you can see, like, they're driving Rolls Royces and Bentleys. It's an insane amount of money they just fall into. And they hire,
to
you know,
open the sunroof so the headdress can fit out. You know, they want to get crushed on the ceiling.
the peace pipe. And, you know, they really, you know, they hire, you know, bankers to handle their money, and they just are into it.
Yeah.
Not enough scratching.
I still wouldn't trade with them.
No, I agree.
You know,
No.
as a people.
Well, the people who actually went through it, people are born into it now. They're kind of lucky, but you're right. What they went through is kind of bad. Well, listen, man, Christian, thanks so much for
Thank
coming
you guys
by.
for having me.
As always, you're great. Christian Finnegan will be at Gotham Comedy Club this weekend. Great club. Been there before. You know, you won't not have a good time. And go and watch his special, April 15th on Netflix, called again.
The fun part.
The fun part. And look for what's probably going to be a great one-man show pretty soon. Come back and tell us about that.
Awesome.
Christian Finnegan, thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
Back after this.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.